Hello and welcome everybody to a fantastic episode from yours truly, words, Spot of Nerd. We have a lot to talk about, so we'll just kind of get straight to it. Let's get the politics out of the way first, and then we're going to go right into, unfortunately, the destruction of one of the greatest icons that ever existed, and is no more than another tally on the list of basically destruction of another franchise by Disney, the Walt Disney Studios Corporation. We will be talking about Indiana Jones, Indiana Jones and the Dial of fucking, what was it? Dial of Destiny. It's so fucking, I can't even. You can already tell where we're going to go with that. But there was a bit of a redemption because, believe it or not, all of a sudden I just became a fan of Jennifer Lawrence and her latest flick. You can tell I don't edit these very much because I'm already forgetting the name. No Hard Feelings, which is a romantic comedy drama thing. I don't know really how else to call it, but we'll get into just a little bit of that. But let's get some absolutely fucking fantastic news in the real world, in the political world, because it could not have come at a better time, in my opinion. We have got the 4th of July coming on Tuesday, I believe it is. America's birthday. Ironic that it is the birthday because it was when you guys became independent. For my people, the Brits, lo and behold, might not have been the best decision, but hey, we're cool. We're friends. It's all good. Let bygones be bygones. But without going down road after road after road, or route after route, thinking like tree roots, blah, 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 blah. It is a very great, passionate, loving feeling to know that I have such a, very patriotic attitude towards America. I do believe America really is the greatest nation on the planet. And the fact that I'm not even a citizen yet is also very sad, because most people today, through narratives and politics, agendas, etc., most Americans, or I would say at least a little less than half of y'all, hate this country. And it's a very, very bad thing. It really is. And we don't need to go down that road right now. We'll go down it in the future. But it's sad because you've been told so many lies, so many falsehoods. You've been given so many truths and facts that you do not like, that you've basically been manipulated. You've been manipulated into hating your own country that you live in, that gives you so much in terms of freedom and the ability to live the best possible life that you can. You've been programmed to hate it. And it's just sad. But lo and behold, on the optimistic side, I see past that. I see past the bullshit. I see past the narratives. And I see something amazing. I see a country that gives people a fighting chance, and without getting into that political debate, if it was such a bad place, if America was such a horrible place, then why is it that millions upon millions of people want to come in here? Even if it means illegally, through means that would make your mind spin in terms of just how these people got here. Like, if it was so bad, why do they come here? Simple question. Something to think about. So, two major decisions occurred recently in the law books of the American law, I guess. I don't really know what other way to call it. was the Supreme Court striking down the affirmative action in basically schools, in colleges, which is amazing. It's absolutely fantastic because for the first time in history, or I guess in a very, not necessarily the first time, but first time in a very long time, people will be judged off of their merits. They will be judged off of, I don't know if merit's the right word, you have to correct me if I'm wrong. Bottom line is, people will be judged off of their brain, their intelligence, and not their skin color. And if anything, that is literally what everybody has been fighting for in terms of equality. Because guess what? It's really pathetic and sad to look at the way some of the reactions behind this decision, on the left side specifically. You want to see real racism? Go and look at some of these reactions. It is downright wow. Like, I can't even, I've got to be careful, but I've also got to just say the truth in this of just the real racists are coming out right now because of this decision. And lo and behold, it's not exactly surprising, because the bottom line is, again, what it comes down to with this decision is you now have the power to do anything. Now again, we don't need to go down that road, at least not in this episode, about, yes, there are some individuals that have it harder than others. There's no doubt about it. There is a poor class, there is a middle class, and there is a rich class. There's no doubt about it that some people do genuinely have it better than others. But this whole, setting aside a certain amount for a specific group because that's just how it's gonna be, it's insanity. You are literally defining racism. You are defining segregation. It's not rocket science. It's wrong. And the fact that this has now been overturned and you will have to go into these schools with your brain and your hard fucking work is absolutely amazing. And I could not be more proud and happy that, again, as a country, we are actually, as much as you're being told otherwise, we are actually moving forward. Because, again, race, it doesn't matter what you are in terms of what you look like, what your skin color is. What matters is how hard you work and the brain power you possess to be the best. Because I don't know about you, when it comes to, for example, heart surgery or brain surgery, I'd rather have the best person operating on my brain than the person that they might have just been given that little extra step, if you get my drift. We do not base our entire existence off of the color of our skin. We base it off the character of the individual. If you're an asshole, we will treat you like an asshole. If you're a good, kind person, then we will probably do everything that we possibly can in our own power to make sure you feel welcome, respected, and everything else in a positive light. It's basic human dignity. You treat me the same way you'd want to be treated. It's no different than letting a stranger into your home. Please, thank you. It is basic human decency. This is not rocket science. Which leads us, of course, into the second piece that just got struck down was, of course, Mr. Biden has tried to do this whole student loan forgiveness, and it got completely shut down. Again, unbelievable, fantastic winning in this regard, because, again, this is what's called consequences. This is not, again, I know you, if you know me, if you know Spot of Nerd, you know I'm a broken record. I get very passionate. I also repeat myself a lot. Sometimes I don't really form the words right. Lots going on. A lot is going on up here. Very hard to get it out sometimes because of just how passionate and excited I am. Because the bottom line is, with this student loan forgiveness crap, why should somebody who has zero debt, who has worked their ass off to get where they are, have to pay for your bad decisions. It's not our fault that you went to college to get a 4-year degree and ended up with hundreds of thousands of dollars of debt that you don't have the ability to pay back. Why should I have to pay for your mistake? It's not my fault. It's no different than, gosh, I don't know, me. I'm gonna buy a car and you should pay for it because I bought a car that was really fancy and expensive, but you should pay for it. It's stupid. It is genuinely stupid. So I think, again, it's amazing because the bottom line is what it comes down to. The people that work hard, that build successful lives, will get to continue to do that without having to pay for somebody else that may have made the wrong decision. It's just fantastic news all around, because the bottom line is, as horrible as things might be in this world, there are some incredible positives going on right now. Incredible wins. And it could not have come at a better time than America's birthday on July 4th. So, yay. Hope you're just as excited as I am. And if you're not, if you want to hate, trust me, take a number. I get plenty of them on a daily basis. So, we'll just leave it there. Right. Now, we're going to move on to, of course, the quick movie reviews. Because, sweet fucking Christ, I had the misfortune of watching the latest number 5 of the Indiana Jones franchise. I cannot believe. Okay, minor. There will probably be some spoilers. If you care, look away. If you want to watch the movie first, go watch it, then come back. Blah 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 blah. But you've been given a warning. There will be spoilers for the Indiana Jones, and no hard feelings. This movie should have never been made. Nobody wanted or asked for a 5th Indiana Jones film. Now, I'm one of those rare people. You can go back in my timeline. I actually did think Crystal Skull wasn't the worst. A lot of people gave it flack. I genuinely didn't think it was that bad. Everybody kind of gave it shit because of quote-unquote aliens. And lo and behold, the second film, you have a dude ripping a guy's heart out. It's not hard to believe this is just what Indiana Jones is. Sure, the visuals could definitely have used work, blah blah blah, but again, it wasn't the best, but it just wasn't terrible. So with this 5th film, number 1, nobody was expecting it. Nobody wanted it. Harrison Ford is old. Let's just get that out of the way. There is no reason he should be making an action film. There is zero reason. And the bottom line is, even this is getting a little too far. So the entire film is based off of time travel. They're trying to stop Hitler from making a horrible shit happen in World War II. Blah 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 blah. Time travel with Indiana. I mean, Star Wars maybe, Star Trek maybe. Fucking Indiana Jones? Come on. Even that's stretching it a little too far, but that's not the worst part about it. The first 20 odd minutes or so, there is a past sequence where there is a deep fake, of course, where they de-age Harrison Ford to look like his younger self. Yes, that part was amazing. And yes, I have to agree with a lot of the other reviewers out there. If they made the film, obviously a different story, but if they simply just made a younger version of Indiana Jones and just used deepfake, you would have had an incredible film. I do give credit to the visuals. I really, really do. They did a fantastic job on that. That's it. The moment you bring in the granddaughter, and you know me, I'm terrible with names, but just look it up. It's the chick in the film. It just goes to shit. Absolute horse shit. Every imaginable woke agenda, political narrative is brought into this film. And the most heartbreaking piece of all is the complete, what do they call it? Emasculation, I guess is a really big word, of Indiana Jones. They degrade him down to the very dirt on the floor. It is absolutely heartbreaking because once again, Disney is defining exactly where their lines are, I guess, without going into too much detail, but I'm sure you can get what I'm trying to get at. It's just sad and pathetic because they leave him essentially out to dry. This movie has nothing to do with Indiana Jones. It has everything to do with her. It has everything to do with the fact that men are terrible and should only be used for sex. I am not kidding. This movie goes down a creepy, creepy way of sexual predatorness with her and other males. It's fucking disgusting and it's gross. Why the fuck they thought this would be a great idea? Beyond me. Even as the movie progresses, you are literally begging. I've told this to a few people already that kind of like, without spoiling too much, by the time you get through half of the film into that last bit of the final sequence, you are begging for the credits because this is such a fucking shit show. It is so bad, people, that I literally I'm as we transition to No Hard Feelings, I would highly, highly, highly recommend you actually go and see No Hard Feelings, the new Jennifer Lawrence film. It's surprisingly good, and I know I kind of have to throw up a little bit in my mouth because I'm not, full transparency, clearly I'm not the biggest Jennifer Lawrence fan. I don't really like her as an actress. Sure, she's probably a good person, I have no issues there, but I don't know. Sometimes you have that celebrity where you're just, I just don't see it. You know what I mean? Like Jason Momoa, whatever the fuck his name is, as Aquaman. He's a jock. He's just, it just doesn't work. But with this film, I don't know. It's like you see a different side of Jennifer Lawrence. She's very comedic. She can curse. She can. I mean, obviously, there's moments, without going into too much detail, that, you know, she's very kind of provocative, but in a non-sexual way, in a kind of a classy way, as weird, as confusing as that might sound. So, mad respect. I really, really do give her respect for this role, because this isn't going to be some blowout Oscar contender film. You know, it's based off of the cliche, she needs money, she lives in this old town where she grew up. There's these rich people that basically have a 19-year-old son who doesn't do anything. He's kind of a loser. So they hire her to pretend to like him. Of course, she tries a little too hard. He kind of figures it out eventually. I mean, it's a very predictable film. And it's where she learns her life lesson of, I can't use people for what I need. I need to actually be a human being, and I need to be friends with people and blah, blah, blah. But it also teaches him to basically be an adult, to grow up, to have fun, to do things, to get out in the world. So it's that cliche 50-50, you know, your pros and your cons, but your cons and your pros. And I kind of laughed a little bit. I said in my Instagram post, it brought back a little PTSD, because I really did feel for the kid in the film, the 19-year-old, because I was that kid. I was bullied. I know what toilet water tastes like, and trust me, it wasn't by choice. Bullies were a very different breed back in my time in the 90s. It was fucked up, and yes, those half lockers, surprisingly enough, I can fit in one. So, I just say it because, again, it's one of those where, you know, growing up, and even in my early 20s, you never really got the quote unquote hot girl. You never really got the beautiful girl. I didn't even really get into girls until probably my early 20s anyway, because I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. And things changed later on. We don't need to go down that road. Things got better. Let's just make sure that's clear. Things got a lot better. And today, of course, those morals and standards have built the foundation of which, again, hopefully one day maybe I'll find that person, but not really counting on it. And not in a bad way, but just kind of been there, done that. So, long story short, it just really was a kind of a feel-good film. And it's a bazillion times better than fucking Indiana Jones. And once again, I know this is a broken record moment from yours truly, Spot of Nerd. Once again, Disney has completely destroyed a legendary character. Star Wars is dead. Marvel is dead. Pixar is dead. Indiana Jones is now dead. There was rumors, and I believe they're actually real, like you can actually go look it up. There's rumors that George Lucas actually wants to buy back the rights to Star Wars and potentially other characters around Lucasfilm, which would basically entail Indiana Jones. And the rumor mill is because Disney is fucking up so bad, he wants those rights back so he can correct their wrongs. And my God, I could not agree with him more. Disney is like, there's a reason they've lost nearly $1 billion. Billion. Because you are deliberately destroying what we find to be joy and happiness in these fictional stories and these fictional characters that we were given by people with amazing minds, amazing imaginations, and they were able to give it to us in real life. And you have destroyed every single piece of it. So to Walt Disney Studios, I know I speak for a lot of people out there, but fuck you. Fuck you, because you did this to yourself. I have no empathy in the fact that whatever's happening right now, you did it to yourselves. Do not go and watch Indiana Jones. It is truly one of the biggest piles of ass I have ever seen on the big screen. Go and watch something else. Seriously, people, you will not be disappointed. With all of that said, let's wrap this episode up. I really do genuinely hope you've enjoyed the content that we brought today. I know there's a lot of stuff. I would love to know your thoughts. Throw it down in the comments. Obviously, please, I would beg you, please go ahead, hit that subscribe button right down below. Rumble is preferred. Of course, we are on YouTube as well. Hit us up on the podcast, the Spotify's, the Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. Share where you can, like, follow, everything imaginable that you can get Spot of Nerd out there. You would be amazed how much censorship actually takes place around this channel. But I sincerely, from the bottom of my heart, I could not thank those that continue to watch and listen, that support the channel. I cannot thank you enough. My huge love and appreciation to you all. We, of course, got a few more episodes before the greatest special of the year, San Diego Comic-Con 2023 is officially happening, and it's less than 3 weeks away. I could not be more excited. It's gonna be a blast. No more COVID bullshit. And there's gonna be a whole new group of people that we're gonna experience the convention with. I'm gonna just let loose this time. I really think it's time we really get a little bit more fun with the channel, specifically Spot of Nerd at San Diego Comic-Con 2023. I said it might have been the last time last year, but of course that's a lie. And it's gonna be very interesting because a lot of people are not gonna be there. Marvel, DC, Warner Brothers, they've all kind of said, I'm assuming it's because of the writer's strike, but it'll be a very different convention. So I'm definitely optimistically hesitant to see what is going to come of it. So stay tuned for that. Seriously, stay tuned. It's going to be quite unique, shall we say. But anyway, with all that said, thank you all so much for watching, and we will see you guys next time. Later, y'all. Alright, just a real quick heads up on the no hard feelings, by the way. From somebody who has never really seen her work, or, I mean, let's be real, you can see nudity anywhere you want, really. It's fucking 2023, people. Get over it. But what I'm just saying is, again, I have to give her credit, because that takes balls. You know? I mean, that really does. I don't think I could ever show the world the goods, so just, I guess the reason I'm telling you too is be careful not to take the kids. You know what I mean? I'm very protective of children, so might not be the best for the little ones. You know what I mean? Just